I'm feeling it. My bones telling me it's right. It's so different. But when you take me to the light, it's like a cigarette. And I'm burning at your lips. Start so innocent. Then you kick it up and now I want to show you all what you deserve. And know we got so much to learn. And just like when we said I do, and it's only you that can do it like that. Yeah. I like it with you. I like it with you. I like it with you. In the sand and we dance. We ain't got no plans. You. I like it with you. Yeah. I like it with you. And the hours will melt all night long. I like it when you close all the curtains. You're taking up the trash and the burdens. But we got all the time, ain't no worries. I like it with you in it. And make me take a little look. Can we finish it? And then get busy getting back into the thick of it, yeah. Take a second, breathe it in. Now out again. I'm still understanding just how you do. The magic when you look at me. Know what I'm saying? It inside your seat. Oh, and just like when we said I do. And it's only you who could do like that. It's only you who could do like. I like it with you. I like it with you. I like it with you. In the sand and we dance. We ain't got no plans. You. I like it with you. Yeah. I like it with you. When the hours will melt all night long. I like it when you close all the curtains. You're taking up the trash and the burdens. We got all the time, ain't no worries. I like it when you tell me that you love it. And when you pull the strings, I'm a puppet. Even when it rains, we above it. I like it with you. I like it with you. I like it with. I like it with you.
We ain't got no plans.
Have you ever seen this? Have you ever felt this? It's a feeling so unheard. When every time I hear your voice, like my feelings having no choice. And every time I hear your voice, I wish I could remember. When every time I every time I hear your voice, like my feelings having no choice. And every time I hear your voice, I wish I could remember. trapped in, not knowing where my heart is. I've been telling myself to stop. Just make me whole. Just make me whole. Just let me
Seeing monsters out your window. No, you can't sleep, you pretend though. You don't have to play the hero. Cause I got you like you got me. When the earth shakes, when the bombs scream. Until our last breath, every heartbeat.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Motive Racing YouTube channel for tonight's action here in the Purple Sector Formula One League, which runs on a Tuesday and Thursday night. We commentated on this for the first time in a long time last week on Thursday for the Miami Grand Prix. We're back here tonight at Imola for what's round 6 of the season, round 6 of 23. But obviously round 5 last week was the first one that we broadcast here so far this season. We've got Senna in the comments. Welcome along, Senna. He says, good evening, Andy. Good evening, mate. Good to see you. Senna, obviously one of our regular racers on a Friday night for Motive Racing's Formula One League. And he's a championship leader as well in that one. Took the win last Friday at Miami. And good to see that he's tuning in, watching some of his friends out there on track. Obviously, a lot of the drivers who race in our F1 League on a Friday also race in this league here as well. So lots of familiar faces and people that Senna will be all too familiar with. But nonetheless, we're going to plug in our HDMI cable. We're going to get the action on my screen so that I can see what you guys are seeing right now. And yeah, without further ado, let's plug this thing in. Let's get ourselves underway. But here at Imola for tonight, the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. I always struggle to say that, but managed to get it all out in one go there, I think. Kind of, maybe, not really. But yeah. I'm just going to call it the Imola Grand Prix from now on. I think that's a bit more easier. I think that'll be somewhat simpler for me and be a lot more pleasing for you guys to listen to and hear at home, because I know that there's nothing worse than hearing a commentator struggling to pronounce the names of the events or the Grand Prix or the tracks or whatever the races are being held that you're watching them. But here we are then. We've got Nathan on provisional pole at the moment on a 1 minute 15.7. That's a pretty solid time there from him so far. I'm not sure what the outright pace is going to be by the time we see the top guys plumbing their lap times in, but that's a very handy time indeed there from Nathan. We've got drivers like Mazza who are still yet to post a lap time as he's just starting his first flying lap now. And obviously Mazza had a very strong round last week, obviously, didn't he, at Miami here at Purple Sector. So he's a known quantity. He's also Motive Racing's reigning champion in the Formula One League, but obviously he's not defending his title this season, so he's not going to be here for his upcoming season, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, he's racing here at Purple Sector and has been since then. But obviously he took the win last week at Miami, so he'll be looking to try and make it another win here at Imola tonight. Matty Pitt currently in third place, coming over the line. V10 Ultra goes 3 tenths quicker than Nathan at the top of the pile there. Good luck there from V10 Ultra. A 1 minute 15.4 in the Ferrari, so he's continuing to find time out there. It was V10 Ultra who really took the fight to Tezza last week at Miami, so are we going to be seeing a similar story here tonight at Imola? V10 here currently setting the pace right now, but let's jump on board Tezza Mazza just coming into the final sector, because he'll be finishing his first flying lap of the session in a very, very short amount of time indeed. Penultimate corner, looks like he gets it onto the curve a little bit on the outside, maximising his speed. Here he comes then, onto the power, Tezza Mazza up towards the line. What is it going to be from man in the Mercedes as he comes over the line? It's P1 there by over half a second from Tezza Mazza, so he has gone and thrown down the gauntlet there to V10 Ultra. He's gone, sorry mate, whatever you can do, I can do. Just that, pretty much a lot better there. V10 Ultra going through Aqua Minerale on going through the middle sector right now and down towards that chicane, the final chicane, but he's on an in-lap at the moment, so he'll be coming in for a fresh set of boots, you'd imagine, and going for another tilt after this. So it's not the be-all end-all, but Tezza Mazza has certainly raised the bar a little bit there, hasn't he? But Freddie is out there on an out lap. We've got Matty Pitt on is this an in-lap? It might be an in-lap here, because I know he did a flying lap a few moments ago. It is an in-lap there, so Matty Pitt's coming in on this lap right now. We've got plenty of comments coming in on the YouTube as well. Good to see lots of you tuning in here on the Motive Racing channel here tonight. We've got Senna saying, interested what Tezza is doing lap time wise. That's why I'm watching. Obviously those two were rivals last season in Motive Formula One League, so it makes sense that Senna is trying to gauge what the sort of the benchmark is, I guess. And there is no really better gold standard to judge yourself on than Tezza Mazza, because he's one of the best drivers on PlayStation on the F1 game. But he comes into the pits at the end of this current run that he's on. We've got Johan Ortiz there saying, Motive team principal watching with you tonight. Obviously Johan, I can't remember what team he's principal of, but we're running a bit of a different kind of thing on a Friday night for the F1 League now. We've got the team principals being added to the rosters for the teams here this season. Not just 2 drivers, there's also now a team principal for each team as well. Senna, remind me who Johan's the team principal of, or Johan, you can as well. I'm guessing pole time will be around the low 14s, says Senna. Yeah, as the track ramps up, I'd imagine probably mid 14s. At least that's what I can do comfortably, he says. Wow. So Senna there talking bullishly about his practice times there. Has the stream just started lagging a bit? I'm not sure. I think it has. Hopefully that doesn't continue. Just noticed now it paused for a second. So fingers crossed that doesn't continue and it now sorts itself out, because it's been quite good up till now. It looks to be running smoothly for the time being. Johan Ortiz says he's the Aston Martin team principal, watching how Ultra and T will be getting on today. And obviously Beaton Ultra is one of the high flyers here in this purple sector F1 league, and Motive he's also pretty handy as well. Generally you can see him on the podium most weeks, albeit that everyone has their off days, but yeah, Beaton Ultra definitely a contender in both leagues. Freddie comes over the line, P3 there for him, so that's a good lap there from Freddie. 6/10 off for the pace at the moment in the Haas, and he's obviously got a bit more time in this session to get himself a bit further up that leaderboard here, so obviously he can continue to build on that. I imagine he'll probably be coming in at the end of this lap for some fresh tyres, but Freddie doing a good job here tonight. Had a good showing last week at Miami, but unfortunately it was had a bit of a difficult middle part of the race, and actually got lucky in the end with the safety car, which was very well timed for him, and he was able to, I think, recover to P5 in the end, I think it was, last week in this Purple Sector F1 League. So he'll be hoping for a similar this week, I'm sure, albeit without the middle part of the race. I imagine he'd probably like to be able to be up there on pure pace, and he's showing that he has got that pace here tonight so far. So looking to keep an eye on how he's getting on. Street Boys in the pits. He's P5 at the moment in this session. He's moved ahead of Matty Pitt. Matty Pitt's on an out lap, getting ready to go for another tilt here to try and get a bit closer to the front 2 rows. We've got the Mark currently in 7th place. The Mark wasn't actually racing last week. It's been a while since I've seen this name here, because obviously the Mark did used to race on a Friday night with us at Motive, but haven't seen him on a Friday for a while, but still racing here on a Tuesday and a Thursday presumably, or at least a Tuesday. But the Mark coming over the line and stays P7 for the time being. As Nathan's gone into 3rd place, moved ahead of Freddie, pushes Freddie down a position and goes a 10th quicker. So nice up there from Nathan. We've got the Viton Ultra coming to the middle sector. He's backed out of it, so he was only 200ths down through the first sector, but he's bailed out on this current lap that he's on. So clearly going for a bit of space here. Maybe he's run into some traffic and has thought, I might as well just give myself another chance here. But Stiffmeister comes over in P4, and that's a nice up there from him, which pushes Freddie and Street Boy down a position each. Senna says, what do you think of hopefully my new car next season? Oh, the new Ferrari. I haven't seen the livery actually. I haven't looked at it yet. I didn't see the reveal. Let me have a look at it now actually. Let's have a quick look. What's it called? The SF24, isn't it, this season? Ah. Similar colour scheme to what we've seen before. I love the rear wing on the Ferrari nowadays. The last few years they've had that very good, sort of catchy looking Ferrari font on the rear wing. It looks absolutely brilliant. It's I like the fact that they've got the Michelin sign as well on it. Not the what is it? No, Shell. Sorry, not Michelin. What am I on about? The Shell sign. It looks quite like the Naughties Ferraris as well. I don't know why. I think did they used to have the Shell logo on there? I can't remember. But yeah, no, it looks good. It looks yeah, very nice. Stiffmeister into the pits here, so he's coming in for a fresh set of boots as Viton Ultra has pulled off to the side. Bailed out of another lap here, and I don't think he's got time to get in and put a new set of tyres on, so I think Viton Ultra might have potentially lost out on a chance to get pole position here. As we've got Freddie in the comments, says check our messages please, Andy. Okay, 1 second. Oh, here we go. Just wanted to say, if I do not so well tonight, this is the reason. Oh my goodness. Freddie's got a massive cast on his leg. Just for those of you who aren't aware what I've just received in DMs. Oh my gosh, what happened there? Is that looks like a fracture of some sort. I don't know. Wow. Okay. But yeah, Nathan back out on the track, and V10 Ultra's crashed out of the session here, so he's now out of qualifying. He's going to be P2 at best, and that's obviously that's only if nobody else improves here. So V10 Ultra has taken himself out of a chance of pole position here. So that is not the situation that he would have been hoping for at all there. Nathan on an outlap right now. We've got Stiffmeister in the pit, so he's not going to improve either. Freddie's out there, currently 5th place in this session, so he's doing a solid job nonetheless, despite having an enormous cast on his leg. He's still managing to put in some decent lap times here. Let's jump on board with him as he comes into the hairpin here at the end of the first sector. He's currently a 10th of a second up at the moment, is Freddie. Finding time here despite his ailments here tonight. As up the hill he comes towards the middle part of the lap. So Freddie here is definitely being a brave man here tonight. He's continuing to push through the handicaps that are being thrown at him left, right and centre. But here he comes into Aqua Minerale right now, keeping it within track limits, keeping it on the limit as well. Up the hill he goes onto the power. He looks like it's a pretty solid lap here so far from Freddie. Middle sector checkpoint. He's lost half a tenth, but he's still half a tenth up because he was a tenth up to the first sector. So Freddie continuing around at a breakneck pace here. Down the hill he comes towards that final double left-hander. It's a make or break braking zone here. It looks like he spots it quite nicely, a little bit wider of where he wants to be, but it shouldn't have lost him too much time. Onto the power now, very cautious on the exit there of the final corner. Freddie up towards the line. What is it going to be for him? He's down on his personal best, stays in P5, but good effort there from Freddie. Street Boy is coming into the final sector. He's 10th down through the middle sector in the Ferrari. Here he comes then into that final double left-hander. Bit wide there onto the curb, maximising his speed. Cautious on the exit, didn't really commit himself too much. Freddie up towards the, Street Boy up towards the line and stays into P6 there. So that's that for him. Mark there, 0.2 of a second up through the middle sector. What is it going to be for him as he's coming down the hill towards the final part of the lap? Freddie says, "Damn, I was 1/10 off." Oh no! As Mark here out of the final corner. And here he comes. What is it going to be for him? He's currently 8th place in this qualifying session as he comes up towards the line now. And P7 moves up a position. Found 3/10 nearly there at the end. So pushed himself above Matty Pitt, who will start in 8th place by the looks of it, unless anybody else is improving. But I don't think they are going to. Interesting that Ruck crashed out of the session, so didn't set a lap time. Ruck was obviously a podium contender last week at Miami, so it'd be interesting to see how Ruck can get on from the back of the pack. Obviously, it'd be a bit of a comeback drive there for Ruck. That was a hiccup. I do apologise. But Senator says 14.9 pole. Quite surprised by that, which most likely suggests that Senna's expecting to be a lot quicker than that on Friday. So there's a lot of expectation now on your Senna. But that is that then, ladies and gentlemen, for the qualifying session here for round 6 of Purple Sector's Formula 1 League here for season 9. It's Teza Mazza who will start this one on pole position, ends up half a second clear of V10 Ultra in second. Nathan will line up in third with Stiffmeister alongside him on the second row. You've got Freddie in P5, just 0.6 of a second covering the top 5, so it's an incredibly close order here. Then a bit of a gap back to Street Boy, who will line up alongside Freddie in P6, 1.2 seconds off of the pace. He's a fraction quicker than the marker, who will line up 7th ahead of Matty Pitt in 8th, with Rexy Boy in 9th, Justify in 10th, and then you have T in 11th, followed by Trucky 10th. Nelly Regit in 13th, Oliver 14th, Rockleby P15, and Island Berg will round out the grid in 16th place here for this one. Freddie says, have a fun time commentating. I certainly will. Hopefully you enjoy the race, mate. And P5 on the grid. Hopefully you can get a podium. Senator says, sure, mate, I'm literally practicing right now. Just did a 14.2 banker lap. Jesus Christ, if that's a banker lap, then God knows what you're doing in the actual full-blown quali, or rather full-blown flying lap. But Oliver K says, well, I am where I thought I'd be. Well, first you've got to meet expectations, then you exceed expectations, Oliver. So, you know, fear not. I'm sure that the improvements will be coming. But Senna says Justin is rapid as well, by the way, so don't expect me to run away with the win. Justin is definitely Senna's closest contender this season. Actually, it's funny because you've got the Ferrari teammates who are probably going to be battling out for the championship this season. I mean, Justin has missed a round, which kind of puts him at a bit of a disadvantage, but ultimately that is sim racing. I mean, Senna last season had to jump in 4 rounds in, so you know it does happen sometimes. But here we are nonetheless. Lights coming on at the head of the grid. We are lights out of the way. We go for the Imola Grand Prix here at Purple Sector, and it looks like Tezamaza gets a good start there. And looks like Nathan's moved ahead of V10 Ultra already, as we've got a bit of carbon fibre flying off in the background there. You've got an Aston Martin here attacking on as the Mark is looking to try and make some moves here, but Freddie couldn't get ahead of Stiffmeister. And we've got somebody around there, somebody spun. Nell Uredit and Truckee there have had an incident there. Truckee has gone off onto the grass. Nell Uredit has managed to get through it actually, but it's Tezamaza leading coming into the hairpin for the first time. There's Nathan in second ahead of V10 Ultra, followed by Stiffmeister in fourth. Freddie stood in P5. There's the Mark ahead of Street Boy, followed by Matty Pitt. Justify and Rex Boy completing the top 10. Ruck's up into 11th place. He's had a strong first lap here, up 4 places. Islandberg has also followed him through here, up into 12th place. So Ruck and Islandberg making light work of everybody in front of them right now. T's moved ahead of Oliver as well, up into 13th place. Around the outside goes T, and you've got Nell Uredit there in 15th place. Truckee down to the back on the first lap. It's been a horrible start there from Truckee, but down towards the chicane here, coming towards the end of the first lap. It's Tezamaza still leading. Nathan is ahead of V10 Ultra, who's making a move there on Nathan up into the chicane, and V10 Ultra makes that one brilliantly there, up into second place. As we watch them all coming through the chicane right now, looks like everybody else holding position for the time being, but a lovely move there from V10 Ultra on the brakes with no DRS on their first lap. Not easy to do, and now V10 Ultra can close up onto the back of the race leader Tezamaza, and it looks like we're going to be continuing that rivalry from last week that we saw at Miami, as V10 Ultra certainly keeping that rear wing of Tezamaza nice and warm here out the front. But Nathan Negg not letting these guys off the hook either. Stiffmeister and Freddie ahead of the Mark, with Street Boy close to the back of the Mark at the moment, and they're all very, very close to the end of the first lap. You've got Oliver in the pits at the end of the first lap. I assume for damage. That might have been the part of a front wing that we saw flying off of one of the cars. That might have been belonging to Oliver, but Tezza ahead of V10. It's very, very tight between those two as they come into Tamburello here for the second time in this race. As you see them all filing through, nobody's really massively close to the driver in front at the moment. Naylor Edger is putting T under a bit of pressure at the moment as they're coming out of Villeneuve, but Tezamaza still out in front by just 0.4 of a second right now ahead of V10 Ultra, and V10 is letting Tezza know that he's not going to let him run away with this one at all. They're both on the same tyres, so is Nathan as well. Tezza obviously had the qualifying pace earlier on, but V10 Ultra seems to be able to stick with him, at least for now. Anyway, Tezza obviously got the pole position and led away, but V10 Ultra lost out to Nathan. Now he's got ahead of Nathan. Now he can put Tezza under some tremendous pressure here as they come down the hill at the end of lap 2. He's still keeping him very much in striking distance right now. Freddie's still on the back of Stiffmeister as well in the battle for 4th place. He's trying to make some gains here. He'll want to get ahead of him as soon as he can, because these two are already losing time to the top 3 as we speak. So Freddie will want to get on with this as soon as he possibly can. Matty Pitt is all over the back of Street Boy as they're coming out of the final corner. They both get so-so exits there out of the final corner. Freddie, in the meantime, is making a move here on Stiffmeister down the start-finish straight. He's made that one happen there as Freddie. So he's now up into 4th place. And on board there with the Red Bull of Stiffmeister as they come into turn 1. That's job done there for Freddie. Rexy Boy and Justify side by side. They're coming into turn 1. And that's the McLaren there of Rexy Boy down the inside, making the move there on Justify up into 9th place. Rock in the background, battling out with Islandberg. But lots of cars here packed into a short space as Justify looking to the outside of Rexy Boy into Tamburello. Not going to happen just there. And they're holding position for the time being. That's Alpine there a bit wide there. Rock there getting out of shape. Up back down the inside of Islandberg into the hairpin. Islandberg trying to keep it around the outside there. And they're going to still be side by side up the hill. And Islandberg with the straight line speed. Rock on the inside. Who's going to come out on top in this one? It looks like Islandberg's managed to get that one done up into 11th place as Rock goes a little bit wide there at the top of the hill, but Islandberg there making a nice move there up into 11th place. In the meantime, Tezza and V10 Ultra still fighting it out over the lead at the moment. 0.6 of a second between these two on lap 3 of this race. V10's just started to fall a little bit off the back of Tezza here. Obviously the gap's still well under a second, but it was pretty much nip and tuck a moment ago, and it's now looking a little bit more comfortable for Tezza. In the meantime, Rock's got back ahead of the Islandberg up into 11th place. He's managed to return the favour in that one. Mark is running in P6 ahead of Street Boy and Matty Pitt right now, with Rexy Boy closing up onto the back of these. So Rexy Boy's making this a 4-way fight for P6 as well. And V10 Ultra has made the move on Tezamaza at the end of the start-finish straight into turn 1. So V10 Ultra, your new race leader, Tezza is going to try and come back at him here, coming down towards Villeneuve. He's looking to the outside here is Tezza, but V10 covers that one off for the time being and can't make the move as Tezza's going to look to try and make it into the hairpin. No, he's not. He's way too far back. He's not going to make that one happen in a million years at the moment, but V10 Ultra has pulled off an absolutely brilliant move there to get up into the lead of the race. Now Tezza's going to be the chaser. He's going to be the hunter instead of the hunted at this particular point in the race. Freddie, in the meantime, starting to pull away a little bit from Stiffmeister. He's now arriving on the back of Nathan, and Freddie continuing to hunt down a potential podium position here in this race. It's been a very strong start indeed from him. And yeah, he's always Nathan there did well to hold on to that. Freddie is able to pick up the pieces up into third place. Didn't need a second invitation there, but Nathan did really well to avoid sort of T-boning Freddie there, as Rock has got a 3-second time penalty for track limits down in P10 as well. That only makes his evening even a little bit more difficult than it already is, with Rock starting down in P15. Has made up 5 places since the start, but track limit penalty for track limits is not going to be what he would have wanted at all at this point. Justifies still keeping him on his toes as well, as T and Nail Uredit are battling here, coming into the final 2 corners, and T goes deep there. Nail Uredit there getting the cutback, coming into the final corner, getting the position straight back. Tito will have DRS down the start finish straight, and will be able to surely make a nice little slingshot here. No, because I tell you what, Nail Uredit's got a DRS as well here, as Nathan, Justifies moved ahead of Rock up into P10. Freddie's lost a couple of places here. What's happened to Freddie? Freddie's dropped it. Freddie's made a mistake. I don't know what's happened to Freddie there, but he was running in 3rd place a second ago. He's down to 8, so Freddie's dropped it and is now nowhere to be seen in that fight for 3rd place. What a shame there for Freddie. Obviously a long way to go in this race and still chances for him to get himself back into it. But Freddie was having an absolute cracker of an opening part to this race. Now he's got to dust himself back off and go again here. And that's going to be a frustrating situation there for him. As Rock on the back of Justify and off P10, still going at it here for the final points paying position. As you see the McLaren there in the background, getting very out of shape there of Rexy Boy. But a very, very fast-paced start to this race. You've got Tezamaza still on the back of the race to the V10 Ultra as they're coming into the hairpin here for the 5th time in the race. They're well clear now of Nathan, who's running in 3rd place. He's a further second ahead of Stiffmeister, running in 4th. The Mark there running in P5 has got Street Boy just about within a second of him at the moment. There's Matty Pitt ahead of Freddie, battling over 7th and 8th places. Rexy Boy there in 8th ahead of Justify. There's Rock, Islandberg, Nail Uredit there ahead of T, who's dropped off him a little bit there in 14th place. As Cesar's made the move on V10 Ultra into the lead of the race. So into turn 1 we go. These two swapping places once again. That start finish straight is the hot spot for these two to change positions. Tezza now hits the front, and V10 Ultra now is the one doing the chasing here. So these two can't get enough of changing positions right now. Neither of them wants to lead the race. V10 Ultra has now got to force the issue here once again as they come through the hairpin here on lap 6 of the race. But it's getting a little bit closer here coming up the hill. It's not going to be anywhere near close enough to make a move here. But these two having an absolutely fantastic battle out the front. We're going to stick with these two for the foreseeable, because every time that one of them makes a move, we're missing it. So we want to stick with them and try and get the action when it happens here. Just to quickly note there, Justify's moved ahead of Rock into 10th place. But back to the leaders here as they come into the chicane. They're still pulling away from Nathan. Nathan is a further 5 seconds back. Stiffmeister has closed the gap a little bit to Nathan. You can see that's now well under a second there between those two. So Stiffmeister putting Nathan under a little bit of pressure, but saying that, made a little bit of a mistake there coming out of the chicane. That would have just cost him a little bit of time there. Street Boy's on the back of the mark there. Freddie is on the back of his train as well, or arriving on the back of the train, should I say. So is Matty Pitt. So expect these two to join that battle very shortly. Islandberg still hassling the back of Nail Uredit as well in the battle for P12. Back to the leaders though. And V10 Ultra's got a cracking run here down towards turn 1. DRS there. Around the outside he goes. The Ferrari overtakes the Mercedes once again here. And these two continuing to swap positions left, right and centre. Nathan still ahead of Stiffmeister coming into turn 1. Street Boy has moved ahead of the mark up into P5. So that's job done there for him. Freddie just waiting in the background. So is Matty Pitt, hoping to feast on the scraps that these two trip over each other. Justify's moved ahead of Rex Boy up into P9 into turn 1. So Justify's made that move. Rex Boy trying to come back at him though as they come out of Tamburello down towards Villeneuve once again. Stiffmeister's moved ahead of Nathan as well. But Rock here trying to get involved in this one, trying to get ahead of Rexy Boy. Rexy Boy nowhere to go, but manages to keep ahead of him there. Into the hairpin we go, and Rexy Boy parks it on the inside. Rock can't make that one happen, but he's going to try and go for a cutback. Can't make that one happen either there. But Stiffmeister now running in 3rd place, having got ahead of Nathan, I assume, through the first sector, maybe into the hairpin, I'm not sure. But Nathan's going to keep on the back of him and try and return the favour. But Nathan has got a 3-second time penalty for track limits. So that's going to really hurt his race here. That's going to be a kick in the teeth there for him for sure. Freddie's still all over the back of the mark in the battle for P6 at the moment. But we've got Rock also on the back of Rexy Boy here as they're coming through the chicane here on lap 7. But he's keeping him on his toes at the moment. Rexy Boy still holding on to this one for the time being, as Tezamaza's now got back ahead of V10 Ultra once again down the start finish straight. These two are taking it in turns to lead this race. It is follow the leader out the front between these two as they come into turn 1, but Tezza has got that slender lead back again. It's going to be, I think, a similar situation for the rest of this race. It's going to be about who's leading at the right place at the right time here. But Tezza once again leads the Imola Grand Prix here tonight at Purple Sector. Oh, it's Nathan. Oh, Stiffmeister there goes into the wall. He's out of the race. Nathan there picking up P3 just as a, well, by default really. Street Boy, The Mark, Freddie and Matty Pitt all moving up a position. Obviously everybody's going to move up a position there because Stiffmeister is out of the race. We've got a virtual safety car. Doesn't look like we're going to have a full safety car, so the race is going to be neutralised for a brief moment here and then we'll be back underway pretty sharpish. But what a shame there for Stiffmeister was obviously in a battle for the podium here, but it's all gone to pot. And Stiffmeister will score nil points for tonight's efforts here, because we're a quarter of the way into this round 6 Fords Purple Sector's season 9 here at Imola. And it's still Tezza leading the way ahead of V10 Ultra. These two have been having a cracking battle for the last few laps. And it's looking like it's going to continue on for the duration here, I reckon. Freddie on the back of the mark here in battle for P5. These, so you got these sort of 4 guys, Street Boy, The Mark, Freddie and Matty Pitt, all battling over P4. They're a few seconds behind Nathan, who's running in 3rd place. I imagine that all of these guys are probably thinking a bit ahead of this battle here. They're all probably thinking about getting onto the podium, but they all need to kind of work together if that's going to happen. Tezza are into the pits here, so the race leader coming in, V10 Ultra staying out. I wonder if he's going to put the hards on, so he's going to try and go to the end from here probably. You would have thought. As he comes back out onto the track, he'll be hoping there isn't another safety car or isn't another virtual safety car in this race. If there isn't, then Tezza will have a good chance of making this work. But 24 laps on the hard tyres, it'd be no mean feat. It's doable, it's not easy. As Rexy Boy moving ahead of Ruck there up into P8. Oh, and we've got a safety car because Justify's out of the race. Justify's crashed out. Where did that happen? I don't know if we were watching it. I remember I was just sort of flicking through. But Justify there's out of the race, and we've got a safety car here on lap 9, and that is now going to completely switch the strategy up. And Tezza's probably going to be thinking, oh, for goodness sake, why did I do that?
don't discuss. I don't need you in my life no more. I don't need you in my life no more. I got no money, it's getting sunny, but I still feel cold. I been no honey, be feeling funny. I told my people I would make it out. What? Not the time just to go around. What a word that they can see for sound. What? Might as well just burn it down. It's always on my mind. 'Cause it gets cold and blue. Yeah, it gets cold and blue. She took my heart and then discarded all the evidence. All of her actions were a clear case of malevolence. I got no money, it's getting sunny, but I still feel cold. I bleed no honey, it's funny, funny. Oh, it's on.
Here we are then, guys. We're underway once again here at Imola, and Vita Ultra has already got ahead of Emilia Romagna on the restart. So Vita Ultra absolutely flying out of the blocks, now attacking on the back of his teammate as well. Vita Ultra leads the race into turn one. Incredible start there from him, as Emilia Romagna's got ahead of Street Boy up into second place as they come out of Tamburello, and Street Boy's just got another place there to Tezza as well. So Street Boy down a load of places there. Vita Ultra and Tezza both on fresh hard tyres, can both go to the end of this race, and those two have wasted absolutely no time getting ahead of the drivers in front of them here. But Vita already putting out ahead of Emilia Romagna, as we can see there. Matty Pitts made a move on the mark up into P6. Rock's moved ahead of Rexy Boy up into 9th place. Tez has now made the move on Emilia Romagna up into 2nd place, but he's already a second and a half behind his rival for this race win, Vita Ultra, who's managed to check out a little bit out the front of this pack here. You've got Nathan already attacking on the back of Street Boy as they come for Aquamarina. You've got Matty Pitt the mark. Freddie there right on the back of these as well. You've got a train of cars here as Rock's now attacking to the outside of Freddie. Freddie's going to hold the inside line as they come into the chicane. Nathan's made the move on Street Boy, but Street Boy's managed to get the move back done into the chicane. And Matty Pitt there swooping through, making a move on all of them. Matty Pitt says, thank you very much, boys. Whilst you mess about, I'm going to sneak through up into 4th place. And Nathan there has made the move on Freddie. So Freddie losing a couple of places here as Nathan up into 7th place round the outside of the penultimate corner. Ireland Burgess dropped it coming to the penultimate corner and is down to 14th place. Oliver picking up a place there up into 13th. But Eilenberg will be frustrated with that one. Trucky in the meantime has made the move on T down the start finish straight. The mark has moved ahead of Street Boy up into P5. There you see as they're going in towards turn 1 at the moment. And T has returned the favour here on Trucky coming down towards turn 1. So T back up into 11th place. All sorts going on right now. V10 leads ahead of Tezza Muzza. Now you Reggie there in 3rd place ahead of Matty Pitt. The mark there ahead of Street Boy. Then you've got Nathan ahead of Freddie, followed by Ruck. Rexy Boy running in the final top 10 spot. There's T in 11th place ahead of Trucky. And wow, all happening here in the on the restart of this race. What an opening sort of few corners we've had to this restart. But V10 Ultra leading ahead of Tezza. We've got another safety car because Street Boy and Nathan have taken each other out, I assume.
days, I'm fighting inside. Some days, I'm fighting inside. Some days, I'm fighting inside. Some days, I'm fighting inside. I'm on my last straw. I'm broken and I'm woken up. I'm done feeding me your lies. I've had enough. I can't run your place in this faulty game. And all the words you speak mean nothing more to me. 'Cause I'd start over now. Rewind, and I won't let you go. I need you by my side.
Here we are then, back underway here at Imola for the third safety car restart. We're back underway, sorry, second safety car restart, third start altogether here. And V10 Ultra leading over the line. He's got Tezza Mazza all over the back of him here. It's Nelly Reggie getting close to the back of Tezza as well into turn one. Berg's made a move here on Truckee up towards turn one. And Truckee might lose out to the mark here as well. And he has done. So Truckee there down 2 places. Not the start there. Bit of a sleepy start there from Truckee. Oh, it's Rolliver there. Gets a bit out of shape. And Rexy Boy takes full advantage there up into P11. Job done there for Rexy Boy. Matty Pitt around the outside of Nelly Reggie into the hairpin. Pulls off a great move there. Does Matty Pitt on his faster, fresher tyres. Freddie also getting around Nelly Reggie there. So Nelly Reggie down 2 places in that one. Rock looking to try and make it another driver here. Then Nelly Reggie is going to fall behind. But he's not even nearly close enough there as they get to the top of the hill. But V10 Ultra leading ahead of Tezza. There's Matty Pitt there running in third place, followed by Freddie ahead of Nelly Reggie, completing the top 5. You've got Ruck there ahead of T. A couple of seconds clear already of the Berg, who's battling out with the Mark as they come towards the chicane here. The Mark looking to the outside. He's not going to make that one happen from there. Matty Pitt's got a 3-second time penalty there for track limits as Ruck's made the move on Nelly Reggie up into 5th place. He's finally made that one happen. T there is on the back of Nelly Reggie as well as they come down towards the final couple of corners here. But he can't make anything happen. But Nelly Reggie going backwards there on those worn hard tyres now. He's done 15 laps on them. A bit of a head scratcher as to why he hasn't been in. I imagine it's probably because he's hoping there'll be another safety car, because the mediums aren't going to go to the end from here. But obviously he has to use 2 different tyre compounds. So he maybe just has to wait a couple more laps before putting those medium tyres on. He's in a bit of an awkward position in terms of the strategy there, is Nelly Reggie, that's for sure. But in the Mark currently has got Truckee all over him. Oh, and the Alpha Tauri there of Islandberg has lost it there coming out of Tambirello. And Oliver there moving up into P11 as a result of that. And Islandberg there down to 12th place here. Bit of a difficult situation there for him. Vitan Ultra and Tezamos are still batting over the lead. 3 seconds clear of Matty Pitt, who's got Freddie on the back of him right now as they come towards the top of this hill. But Rock is very much for company here for these two in this battle for the podium places. T's currently attacking on the back of Neil Uregit as they come down towards Aqua Minerale. You've got a couple of seconds back to the mark, who's currently coming under pressure here from Truckee and Rexy Boy as they go through Aqua Minerale. Lots of battles wherever you look right now. Hard to know where to have eyes at the moment, but Freddie still trying to attack on Matty Pitt. Tezza Muzza still trying to make something happen here with the race of Vitan Ultra, but Vitan Ultra looking actually quite comfortable at the moment out the front. He's not really coming under too much pressure here from Tezza Muzza. And they're holding position for the time being. It doesn't look like it's likely to change anytime soon, but the leaders here coming on the start finish straight. Tezza with a bit of DRS, getting in that little bit closer to the back of the Ferrari, but not close enough. And Vitan Ultra continues to boss things here out the front. Freddie in the meantime getting close to the back of Matty Pitt into turn 1, too far back. Not going to make that one happen. T got DRS on Neil Uregit, but Neil Uregit had the DRS off of the car in front ruck, so T wasn't able to really use that to full effect, but T's got a cracking run here, looking to the outside towards Villeneuve, but again, Neil Uregit holding that inside line there, managing to keep ahead by the skin of his teeth there. The mark there running in 8th place ahead of Truckee Man, should I say, who's running about a second clear of Rexy Boy still. And it looks like they've now dropped Rexy Boy ever so slightly above the mark in Truckee, but T still can't make this move happen on Neil Uregit. And just for a brief second there, had a yellow flag. Not sure what that was all about, but it's now subsided already there, so no dramas in that one. Freddie's still trying to keep the pressure on Matty Pitt in this battle for the podium places. T is all over Neil Uregit here as they come out of Aqua Minerale. Up the hill we go. T just had to back out a little bit there because he had nowhere to go. He's actually let the mark through, so I don't know if he's had a track limits or something there. The mark up into P7. Not sure what happened there with T. Just got well out of it there. Mark now looking to attack on the back of Neil Uregit. In fact, Neil Uregit's backed out of it and has now let both the mark and T go through. T now attacking on the back of the mark. The mark up at 2 places in that one as T just runs into the back of him a little bit there going into the penultimate corner. Nothing major, no damage, but just giving him a bit of a tap there. Did T on the back of the mark, but Mark there getting ahead of T and Neil Uregit up into P6, and T making a move on Neil U, but Neil U's making the move here down the start finish straight with DRS wide open. Breezes past T, and now it's going to breeze past the mark as well, and back up into P6 maybe. No, Mark goes late on the brakes, holds it around the outside for turn 2, and the mark there keeps on to P6, but now Uregit there almost made it 2 moves in space of a couple of 100 metres there. Down towards Villeneuve we go. He's looking to the inside there is Neil Uregit, but Mark holds it around the outside and clings onto that one for the time being. You've got T there with Truckee and Rexy Boy attacking on the back of him right now, but it's a big train here battling over what's P6 here in this race. And a cracking battle at that as T there gets it all wrong coming out of the hairpin. T dropping down to P10. Truckee Boy dropping behind Rexy Boy. Rexy Boy up into P8. And Islandberg spun it again and it's dropped behind Oliver here. So Islandberg having a nightmare of a race with no front wing as well. Things have gone from bad to worse for him. Yellow flags being waved. That is why. But all sorts going on right now. The mark still leads the race. Is still leading the battle for P6, should I say, is what I meant to say. He's just ahead of Neil Uregit, and these guys a couple of seconds, well, but just over a second ahead of Rexy Boy. He's running in 8th place. You've got Truckee there still with him as well as T. But yeah, chaotic situation in the mid-pack right now. But back to the battle for the podium places. Matty Pitt still just ahead of Freddie. Tezza Muzza making a move for the lead of the race. Round the outside of Vitan Ultra, he goes into turn 1, and he's made that move stick there as Tezza. He's finally managed to get ahead of him on this restart. Since the restart, V10's looked a bit more comfortable, but this time around, Tezza makes it happen. Into Villeneuve they go, but Vitan Ultra's too far back, and Tezza Muzza's made a fantastic move there up into the lead, and he's fully deserving at that position here. Really well done there from Tezza Muzza. He's pushed him for the last couple of laps and now has to lead once again, but we'd be silly if we were to assume that that's going to be the last that we see of those two. I'm sure they're going to continue their topsy-turvy swap seats from now until the end of the race, as Oliver's in the pits here at the end of lap 19. Not sure why, but he's had to come in for a stop of some sort, which is obviously unfortunate there for him. But we've got Freddie here, who's on the back of Matty Pitt at the moment in the battle for third place. Still this goes on there for the podium places. Obviously Matty Pitt on the faster tyres, but Freddie will be able to go to the end on his tyres. Matty Pitt won't, so Freddie's in a better strategic position here than Matty Pitt, that's for sure. Freddie, I think, is probably, unless he has some kind of incident, he's going to be on the podium here, because they've obviously done less laps because some of those laps are on the safety car. So 22 laps, obviously 20 laps on 20 racing laps. He's done 20. He'll have done 20 racing laps by the time we get to the end of the race. So yeah, I think Freddie's in a comfortable position here to go to the end. So got to be the favourite for a podium as long as he keeps it together. Rexy Boy's made the move on Nelly Regit coming towards turn 1. That's chopped on there for Rexy Boy. Trucky here trying to attack on Nelly Regit here as they come out of Tamburello once again. Tezza still leading the race, having made the move a lap and a bit ago. Vitan Ultra though still keeping him on his toes at the moment, still not letting him off the hook. Senna said he's just finished his quali practice. 13.8 is the lap he did. That's over a second quicker than the pole time from Tezza Mazza. Obviously that's not taking into account track conditions and everything, so who knows, but that is a stonking time there from Senna. And we're probably due to be expecting big things from him in this race. Freddie's all over the back of Matty Pitt as they come down the hill, as these two battle it out over the podium places still. Oliver's out of the race. So we've got double waved yellow flags through sector 1. As Freddie made the move on Matty Pitt into turn 1. Round the outside he goes. He's made that one stick there as Freddie. Beautifully done. Rexy Boys within a second of the mark still. Trucky very close to Nelly Regit into turn 1. But Nelly Regit having the DRS from Rexy Boy kind of saved him there. And Nelly Regit there holding on to 8th place for the time being. But Freddie up into 3rd place. He's been attacking on the back of Matty Pitt for a number of laps. Obviously on those hard tyres he can comfortably go to the end. So Freddie in a great position here to consolidate that podium position. The two leaders though in a league of their own right now, as they've just put a lap there on the AlphaTauri there of Ireland Berg, who's ghosting through them here, and that's not really what we want to be seeing. Ireland Berg getting a 3-second time penalty for track limits as well. On board with Ferrari at V10 Ultra as he's trying to put the pressure here on Tezza Mazza. And the lap car there making a nuisance of himself as they come down the start-finish straight. Seeing a lap car ghosting through the leaders reminds me a bit of watching horse racing. You know, when you've got a loose horse in a jumps race. Oh, it's V10 Ultra gets ahead of Tezza Mazza there into turn 1 and up into the lead. But it kind of reminds me of watching a loose horse in a horse race when the jockeys come off and the horse continues running around with the pack and is obviously out of the race and is just continues to make a nuisance of itself. It reminds me of that when I see a lap car on F1 ghosting through the leaders. But Matty Pitt has moved ahead of Freddie up into 3rd. So that's done there for him. Rexy Boy is on the back of the mark as well in his battle for P6. There's Nelly Regit and Trucky there going at it for 8th place as well. As the leaders here coming down towards the chicane once again, it's V10 Ultra and Tezza still battling it out. Freddie all over the back of Matty Pitt since Matty Pitt got back ahead of him. These two continue to battle it out for the podium places here as they come out right from Mineralo and up towards the chicane once again. But Freddie a little bit too far away, I think, to really putting Matty under too much pressure at the moment. Tezza is getting the DRS here on V10, but he's a bit too far back coming into turn 1. He's not going to be able to make that one happen there. These two still just behind the lap car, or this, well, effectively lap car of Ireland Berg, because he's on soft tyres which are not going to get him to the end, so he will be lapped by the end. Rexy Boy's got ahead of the mark coming down towards turn 1. Down the start finish straight, DRS there, that would have been for the McLaren, getting ahead of the Aston Martin. Freddie still putting some pressure here on Matty Pitt for P3. Trucky getting closer to the back of Nelly Regit here, almost running into the back of him there as they went through the hairpin. But still a train of cars here. Rexy Boy, the mark, Nelly Regit and Trucky all in a battle here for P6. V10 Ultra still leading the race. Tezza still getting closer with the DRS, but not close enough. And that, I'll tell you what, that lap car here is helping V10 Ultra a bit because he's getting the DRS off of him, which is allowing him to keep the gap to Tezza. And Tezza just dropped out of a second barrier there as well, so that could be playing a bit of havoc here for Tezza. And V10 just looking a bit more comfortable than he has done in recent laps here. Only eight laps to go as well, so we're into the closing stages here of the Imola Grand Prix here for the Purple Sector F1 League. And it's looking very much like V10 Ultra could have this one in the bag here. He's obviously on 1 lap fresher hard tyres. It's not going to make the world of difference, but it'll be a marginal advantage. And obviously with the lead of the race, he's obviously had clear track in front of him. Wouldn't have been taking as much life out of his tyres leading the race as you would if you're following the car ahead. So yeah, I think he's in a good position right now. As V10 here still ducking inside that lap car as they come out onto the start finish straight, and Tezza's got the gap well under a second once again here. I'll tell you what, Tezza's a bit closer this time around. Maybe Tezza might fancy his chances here coming into turn 1, but once again V10 Ultra being saved by that back marker with the DRS. Tezza can't get anywhere near him as they come into turn 1. V10 Ultra is going to be thanking the back marker of Eilenberg for causing such chaos here. I think his tyres are now starting to go off a bit because he was pulling away from this. So a couple of seconds ago, and Eilenberg's crashed into the wall. He's out of the race as well. Is that going to bring out a safety car? Hopefully not. It's a VSC for the interim. Hopefully it stays that way. But Eilenberg out of the race. Nathan's left the session. He was already out of the race before. So yeah, VSC. Hopefully it stays that way. I'll tell you what, Tezza, I think was he affected by that? Eilenberg crashing out? Or no, I think he's just backed off during the VSC. I don't think that's representative. I think he's just backed off a bit. Maybe he had to do something. But he's dropped off of V10 a bit. Well over a second now between these two. That could be crucial here in this battle for the win, as Freddie's got back ahead of Matty Pitt up into the podium places. So these two continuing to go at it. Matty's tyres are going to be starting to fall off at this point as well. So that's going to give Freddie a bit of an impetus here to start to try and pull away from Matty Pitt in these closing stages. And Mark Nail, your edge, and Truckee still battling over 7th place at the moment. Truckee there getting a good exit out of the chicane. He now looks to be outside there of Noah Uregic. Going to be close here between these two as they come down towards the braking zone. And the AlphaTauri there just keeping it around the outside there. Late on the brakes, swoops around the outside there of Noah Uregic up into P8, and that's easy pickings there for him. Truckee there into clean air. Lovely move there from him. V10 and Tezza still battling over the lead of the race. You've got Freddie and Matty Pitt still going at it as well for 3rd place. Battle's going everywhere, but it's the top placings here where we really want to be keeping an eye. And Noah Uregic's coming for a fresh set of soft tyres, presumably going for the fastest lap. T's already put some soft tyres on. But V10's got the gap just over a second. But this final sector here is where Tezza Mazza seem to have the advantage over the course of this race. Is he going to be able to close up to V10 once again here through this part of the track? If he can get himself within a second, he'll be able to use that rear wing to his advantage. But if he's outside a second here, then it could give V10 a bit of impetus to start to pull out that gap. Here we come then through the final corner. Keep an eye on that gap. What is it as they're coming up towards the DRS line? It's over a second. So V10 is out of DRS threat here from Tezza Mazza. That's the first time in this race. Now if he can blitz these first 2 sectors on this lap and pull out that gap, which he's generally had the advantage around, V10 Ultra might be able to just crank up the pressure a little bit here on Tezza Mazza. Tezza just about within a second at the moment, but obviously no DRS down this part of the track. It's down the start finish straight, so this could be V10 Ultra's big opportunity to maybe try and win this race. V10 just over a second ahead of Tezza as they come out of the chicane here. on lap 28 of the race. Tezza still keeping him on his toes here as they come down into the final two corners once again. Once again, V10 Ultra just about out of that DRS threat. But Tezza down the straight seems to have that straight line speed advantage. It's getting him back within the DRS, but obviously he was outside the DRS at the detection point, so therefore didn't get the benefit of it down the straight. But V10 Ultra once again stepping it up when he has to through the twisty parts of the circuit, and that's bringing him outside that second zone when he needs to be here. Trucky within a second of the mark as they're coming over the line to start lap 29, but no DRS there for the AlphaTauri, so he must have been behind at the detection point. Two leaders here, out of Minerale here with 3.5 laps left to go. It's V10 Ultra who continues to hold a slender lead, just over a second. These two so evenly matched in terms of their overall pace. V10 slightly quicker over the course of this lap by maybe a tenth or two, but Tezza Mazda is certainly going to be there. If V10 makes any kind of small little mistake, then Tezza Mazda will be right there to capitalise. As out of the final corner we come once again. 3 to go here at Imola. And Tezza's back within DRS here this time. But he not at the detection point though, so he won't get the benefit of the rear wing. So V10 Ultra once again saved by that detection point being a little bit further forward. It's through Villeneuve. Sorry, through Tamburello. Down towards Villeneuve. Well under a second between these two now. This is the part of the track where V10 Ultra has had the upper hand over the course of the last few laps, but this time around Tezza's sticking to him like glue as he comes through Minerale once again. All bit of a twitch there from Tezza, getting onto the power, cost him about a tenth there. Down towards the chicane. This is the part of the track where Tezza's generally had the upper hand here on V10 Ultra. Didn't get a good run out of the chicane though. But let's see how he handles these two double left-handers. Can he set himself up nicely to be poised with that DRS? Well within DRS this time. Here we go then. Tezza Mazda will get the rear wing. That will take him a little bit closer. It's not going to be close enough to make a move, but it's going to bring him within striking distance here. You can see him getting that closing speed. He's going to get there just a little bit too late to make the move, but V10 Ultra there is going to park it in the middle of the track. Tezza though is once again putting that pressure here on V10 Ultra. He's really forcing the issue here in the closing laps of this race. Only 2 laps left to go. He's got to do it now. It's now or never here for Tezza Mazda, but V10 Ultra still clings on by the skin of his teeth here as they come through Villeneuve once again here and into the hairpin. But V10 managing to get a better run through the first sector, much better run than Tezza. The gap just creeps over a second here again. The momentum shifts in favour of the Ferrari driver once again here. But Tezza's still chasing this win. Can he make this happen here? As we're into the final lap and a half there. The Marks made the move on Rexy Boy. Bit of contact there going into the chicane, and the Marks managed to make that move, and he's made it stick there up into P6. Rexy Boy loses out. Trucky now trying to attack on Rexy Boy. So they come down towards Villeneuve, but he's too far back at the moment. Senna says, very impressed with Vincent there. He's been improving a lot lately. Unless Vincent gets penalty, there's no way Tezza is winning this. I don't know. He's going to stick to the back of him. He's going to keep him under pressure here. Senna, I'm sure about that. There's a Rexy Boy losing out to Trucky. Trucky forcing his way down the inside into Minerale. And Trucky there into 7th place gets the job done. V10 Ultra and Tezza here. 0.4 of a second apart. Who is going to win this race then? Final lap, and as Tezza gets it a little bit wrong there going through Tamburello, and that's just costing him a bit of time, and the gap's just crept over a second again between these two. V10 Ultra surely going to see this one out now. I have to start agreeing with Senna here. Maybe Tezza just was a bit of a last roll of the dice there, pushing it as hard as he could at the start of the final lap. Maybe that's cost him a chance of having a crack at V10 over the course of the rest of this lap here. Here we go then, half a lap left to go here at Imola for Purple Sector's Formula 1 League. Here for round 6 of season 9, here for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. On F1 23, down towards the chicane for the final time. V10 Ultra's just got to keep it on the island, he's got to keep it clean. Don't get any track limit penalties. Tezza has actually got a track limit penalty to his name, so even if he were to get ahead of V10, it wouldn't have been for anything. Down towards the final 2 corners we go. V10 Ultra just keep it together here. Here we go, one turn to go. V10 Ultra out onto the start finish straight here at Imola. It is going to be a race victory for V10 Ultra here at Purple Sector Formula 1 League. He takes the checkered flag. A tightly fought contest there between V10 Ultra and Tezza. Those two in a league of their own. But V10 Ultra just about landing it there ahead of Tezza Mazza. Great fight between those two. Trucky's got ahead of Rexy Boy on the final lap. That's because Rexy Boy spun coming out of Acamino, so Rexy Boy getting it in trouble there on the final lap. What a shame. Looks like he's going to get it going way before Nail gets on the scene. Freddie there taking a final podium place. Well done, Freddie. Really well done. Best of the rest here tonight. Matty Pitt over to take 4th place there. 23 laps on a set of medium tyres. I've got to give it to him. I know that it's probably about 18 or 19 because a lot of those were on the safety car, but even so, hats off to him. Mark gets ahead of Ruck on the penalties. So Mark P5, Ruck P6. Trucky over in 7th place in the end. Rexy Boy with his last lap spin loses out to Trucky and comes over in 8th place here in the end. Nail Uregit and T are going to fight it out to the flag here for 9th and 10th, but it looks like Nail is going to hold this one as through the final corner we go. Oh, a bit wide there, but Nail Uregit will finish in P9, TP10. In fact, no, Nail, you went into the pits on the final lap. What was he doing that for? I'm not really sure, but Nail Uregit into the pits on the final lap. Very strange. But that is that then, guys, for tonight's action here in the Purple Sector Formula 1 League. Big thank you to all the drivers for watching this back afterwards, for those who watched live. Hopefully you did enjoy, and yeah, another great bit of action here in the Purple Sector Formula 1 League. Really enjoying doing this on a Tuesday and a Thursday night, and yeah, looking forward to Thursday in 2 nights' time. Only got to wait 2 more nights for more of the same. Fantastic. Make sure you join us at 8 PM as always for Purple Sector, and I'm just buying a bit of time here whilst I just check to see where we'll be racing. It will be Monaco in 2 nights, so that is going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, brace yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, for what's going to be hopefully not a massive crash fest. I don't want to be pessimistic. I don't want to write it off before we even got to turn 1, lap 1, but no, you know what? I think the guys can handle it. I think they're more than capable. But anyway, thanks everybody once again, and we'll see you all at Monaco in 2 nights' time for the Purple Sector Formula 1 League. And yeah, thanks everybody. Good night.